done some metric system in science. So let's go ahead and do a little bit more as a review in math. And let's start out with learning the story of King Henry. Once upon a time in a faraway land, there lived a king who loved chocolate milk. His name was King Henry. Throughout his kingdom, King Henry made sure that all of the cows were fed great supplies of chocolate to continue to provide him with his beloved chocolate milk. King Henry drank chocolate milk with his breakfast. He drank chocolate milk with his lunch. He drank chocolate milk with his dinner. He even drank chocolate milk for his bedtime snack. King Henry drank chocolate milk by the liters. King Henry wanted all living creatures in his kingdom to enjoy chocolate milk as much as he enjoyed chocolate milk. However, a liter was not the best size for every creature. The royal carpenter was called for, and the command was given for new serving vessels to be created to fit every creature in the kingdom. For the creatures smaller than the king, the royal carpenter designed deciliters, which were 1/10 the size of a liter, centiliters, which were 1/100th the size of a liter, and milliliters, which were 1/1000th the size of a liter, and microliters that were 1/1,000,000th the size of a liter. The microliters were just the right size for the royal beagles and tiny bugs of the kingdom. For the creatures bigger than the king, the royal carpenter designed deciliters that were 10 times the size of a liter, hectoliters that were 100 times the size of a liter, and kiloliters that were 1,000 times the size of a liter. The kiloliter was just the right for the royal giants of the kingdom. The royal carpenter lined the vessels up in his workroom from largest to smallest to show the king. The king's vessel was in the center of the line, for the king was the center of the kingdom. The vessels were arranged in the following order: kiloliter, hectoliter, deciliter, liter, deciliter, centiliter, and milliliter. King Henry loved the new vessels that were designed larger and smaller than his own for all the living creatures in his kingdom. The royal carpenter explained that the sizes increased and decreased from the king's liter, the original unit of measurement, by the multiples of 10. He explained how to convert between the sizes by multiplying by 10 or dividing by 10. King Henry wondered how he would ever remember the order of the vessels. The royal carpenter said that he remembers them by thinking of a saying. He said, "I remember the order by saying, 'King Henry does unusually drink chocolate milk,' and then I have no problem remembering the order." "That is exactly right," said King Henry. "I usually do drink chocolate milk," laughed out loud. "Now I shall remember the size of the 9 vessels you made." To celebrate, he took another big drink of chocolate milk and died. What's the moral of the story? King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. So stop drinking it. I hope you got a good laugh of that. Now, how do we remember this? How are we going to use the metric system to convert the measurements? And we think about the metric system. It has mass and capacity. You need to be able to convert between the different measurements. Remember, the metric system is all based on a multiples of 10. And the middle are the main units: meter, liter, and gram. They're right here in the middle under unusual. So if we go to the left, the numbers are getting bigger. That means I'm moving the decimal point 1 spot to the left, or I'm dividing by 10. If you go to the right, the numbers are getting smaller. That means I'm moving the decimal point to the right each spot, the number of spots I move, or I'm multiplying by 10. So let's try to convert some. We have 17 kilometers. KM stands for kilometers. Meters is the main unit. Kilo is the abbreviation for the beginning. So if we go from kilometers to meters, how many spots did we have to move? Well, if you put your pencil on the K and you count, I went 1, 2, 3. That means my decimal point is going to move 3 spots to the right. Remember, if you don't have a decimal point, think of it as money. The decimal point's at the end. So if there's nothing there after the 17 and I have to read 3 spots, that means I have to add in 3 zeros. That means my answer is going to be 17,000 meters. If I go from milliliters to liters, well, put your pencil on milliliters. Where's it at? It's right here. And I'm going to go to liters. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. That means I'm going to go 3 spots to the left. The decimal point's at the end if it's not already there, and go 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. That means I get 0.580. Now, 36.4 centigrams to kilograms. So again, we're going to start at the centigrams, the C, and we're going to go to the G. 1, 2. So we're going to kilograms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots I have to go. And what do I get? So I'm moving 5 spots to the left. That means my decimal point needs to move 5 spots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, if nothing's there, I'm filling in all those zeros. So 0.00036, and don't forget that 4 there at the end. Now I'm going to go from grams to milligrams. Again, put your pencil on the grams and move it. 1, 2, 3. Going from the U to the M, I went 3 spots. Put your pencil where the decimal point is already there and go 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And remember, if nothing's there, put in a 0. So this becomes 50. You don't need that 0 in front, but it does become 50. Let's try again. Remember these abbreviations, and they will help you. Look under the letters that tells you. And remember, we have deca and deci. So deca is DA and deci is just a D. Going from decimeters to millimeters. That means I'm going from starting at the decimeters and I'm going to millimeters. I'm going 1, 2 spots. If I go 2 spots to the right, what do I get? You try it and see if you come up what I came up with. I came up with 24,300. I'll go ahead and write that because that's a little small for you to see, but I'll go ahead and write it in. Now I'm going from liters to milliliters. Again, starting at liters, going to milliliters. 1, 2, 3 spots to the right. Move that decimal point 3 spots to the right, and you're going to find out that you have 8,500 milliliters. Try the next 2 on your own. Write them down on a piece of paper. Come back and check. All right. Hope you were able to move them from kilograms to grams. Putting your pencil on the kilogram and moving it over, we went how many spots? You should have come up with 750 grams. And then if you went from centimeters to hectometers, again, starting at the centimeters and moving to the hectometers, how many spots did I have to move? In this case, make sure you get all those zeros in there for how many spots we had to leave. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. So all of that should be after your decimal point. So go ahead and check and see how you did. Here's one more you can try. I'll go ahead and give you a minute to try them and go ahead and put your answers down. Remember, wherever you start and which way you move, you're either multiplying or dividing by 10 or moving that decimal point. So here we go. 8.54 meters to kilometers. You should have come up with 0.00854. Do I need to write that bigger for you? Is that hard to see? I will. Liters to decaliters. Watch out for that DA there because that's a little different. What did I get from 56 to 5.6? Decigrams to hectograms. How far did I move? Where did I go? I had to move to the left, and I had to move how many spots? It looks like I had to go 1, 2, 3 spots there. So make sure 0.0904. Don't forget all of your numbers. And the last one, from milliliters to centiliters. How many spots did I have to move? In that case, it's only 1 spot to the left. So you would have come up with 40.67. All right, I'm going to go ahead and let that one go. If you want to go ahead and practice that on your own, you can come back and do so. I want to get to a word problem because that's no different. Remembering our order, King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. If you need to write that down, King Henry Whoops, I'm sorry, I messed it up already here. Let me fix this, write this out for you. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Where am I starting? I'm starting at the centimeters, and I want to go to meters. So starting at centimeters, he's 117 centimeters tall. If I wanted to put that in meters, if I start here at centimeters, remember meters is in the middle. That's the main part. We're going to go 1, 2 spots. That means I'm going to take that decimal point and I'm going to move it 2 spots to the left, finding out what that's 1.17 meters. Let's try one more. We have a 2-liter bottle of pop. How do we change the volume from the bottle to milliliters? Again, King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Now, we're going to start at liters. So, liters is in the main unit. That's one of the main. Remember, our main units are liters, meters, and grams. And that goes under the U. I'm going from liters to milliliters. So I'm going 1, 2, 3 spots to the right. If the decimal point's not there, remember it's at the end. So if I have a 2 and it's at the end, I have to go 1, 2, 3 spots. That means I have to add in zeros. I'm going to come up with 2,000. Give it a try and see how you do.